Yeah, of course, I'm asking you a few questions relating to this connection and the African diaspora because, of course, as you can see, that is the central piece of our conversation and our communication here in Oberhit podcast and also in our e-learning platform because it is important for us that we take care of ourselves. This
Mhm.
is very, very because nobody is coming to do it for us, so we need to look for a way to be able to fix our problem. It
Mhm.
is our problem. We are the one that will transform into opportunity for us. Like I just made mention of, the hundreds of millions of Africans in the diaspora cannot be seen as a problem. It's a solution. But we are the one that will transform that number into a resources.
Mhm.
And we're going to look for a way to do that.
Yes.
Because it had not been done yet, so that is where I have a lot of curiosity. What do you think is the impediment that is holding us back from being able to tap into the huge potential that we have as a people, which is the connection, the networking, the doing things together? Like I just said, in Brazil, there are more than 100 million people of African descent. Can those people count on other people like them in the United States? Can they count on other people like them in UK? Can they say, oh, there are other people of African descent in Germany? Can they count of them in terms of trouble and in terms of peace? That these people will come to rejoice with them when it is time to rejoice. These people will come to defend any type of trouble. In case somebody is thinking that I am overstressing the line here, I want them to remember what happened in South Africa. That the reason those few insignificant number of people of white people in South Africa were able to hold the South African people hostage was
Mhm.
because the Europeans supported them.
Yeah.
People from Europe, including those from the United States, supported them, armed them, trained them, gave them everything they needed to hold the people
Mhm.
hostage.
Yeah.
So, for the fact that we are a people, we must live up to that in everything. We
Mhm.
must be able to protect our interests
Yeah.
and uplift our name in the world. So I
Yeah.
come back to the question again. What is stopping us from being able to organize ourselves for
Mhm.
the sake of ourselves?
Yes. Well, we're disenfranchised, right? We don't connect with our brothers and sisters who are there. So that's one. Okay. We need to understand that they are our brothers and sisters. When we realize that and connect to that, then everything else will fall into place. For instance, money is power. We know that. Because of our disenfranchisement, it takes some time to rebuild generational wealth, right? So for me, that's one of the reasons why I'm hoping that my businesses will be, successful. What we need to do is build wealth. We need to build generational wealth. The reason why those people in South Africa, the Dutch, etc., were able to um, amass this control was because they had wealth. They were able to use their dollars to speak for them. It's the same with Asian people. It's the same with South Asian people of Indian descent, right? Because of the wealth that they have, that money speaks for them. It even works if you're totally honest, a lot of those politicians, they have wealth, they gain wealth, and that wealth is what makes them powerful. So, we need to be conscious of what we're doing with our money. We need to be um, conscious of where we're spending our money. We need to be conscious of, how we amass our money. So here in Canada, there was this idea that came about that we, as a people of in the diaspora, would make a contribution once a year, into this one bank account, you know, uh, to gain wealth, right? So they chose Emancipation Day, which is August 1st here in Canada. And so I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful idea, but it never really materialized, right? They're still working on it. I hope that they succeed in, because there's a lack of trust because of the disenfranchisement, right? We are all over the place and not connecting as a nation, right? And so if we imagine what we could do if thousands of people of African descent paid even just $1 into one account every year, the amount of wealth that could be amassed, right? And what we could do with that wealth, right? But because of the lack of trust, oh, where is that money going? Who's going to manage it? What's going to happen with it? What are we going to do with it? Well, yes, some of those details are important. We need to work all those things out. But my point is that money speaks, money is power. And if we can come together as a people and create that wealth, then we don't have to ask anybody for anything. Here in Canada, we have grants that you can apply for as a business or as a nonprofit organization. And that's fine. But the problem is, it's not sustainable. You constantly have to ask. You're always asking, always asking, always asking. And that puts us in a subordinate, position, where we don't have power, right? We're constantly, underneath somebody else's, power. So for me, I think that in order to create power, we need wealth. In order to create wealth, we need to be unified. In order to be unified, we need Pan-Africanism. We need, to understand the meaning of Pan-Africanism and the purpose of Pan-Africanism, which is to unite us as a family, as a nation, and in numbers. Even just if we talk about numbers alone, if we as a people come together in numbers alone,